Welcome back to my weekly freelance check-in. It's been about 3 weeks since I've done one of these. I just wasn't quite sure what to hop on here and talk about. I didn't really have any huge wins to celebrate. But then my buddy Jordan sent on a newsletter, and in it there was a quote that growth rarely announces itself. And it was all about celebrating the small wins. And he had a guided practice in there about reflecting on where you were and where you are now, and really taking the time to reflect on even the smallest wins. So that's what we're going to do this week. One of the first big things is finally upgrading my studio audio interface. It's something that's been on my list probably for a couple years, and I ended up getting a reference mic to tune my speakers, and the results were just mind-blowing. And one of the things that I really wanted to focus on, all that I've accomplished, I've sold all these beats and had 60 TV placements and all that, in spite of maybe a not so ideal mixing environment, just makes me really confident and really excited going forward, knowing that my new mixes and my new production are going to be even better than they were before. Win number 2 is my social media growth. I finally hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, and if you know, that is step 1 in being monetized. I've also been growing a lot on my Instagram and TikTok by posting more consistently and coming up with cool ideas for content that I'm filming and editing myself. Some of these videos are still getting likes and comments weeks later, so I'm really thankful for that, and that's actually inspiring my next batch of video ideas. Win number 3 would be selling a beat that hopefully gets used by one of my favorite rappers in Denver. I'm also releasing some of my own music next week and hopefully putting out an album with some friends. I finally recorded my last verse that was needed for that project, so hopefully we are on the final stages of that, of getting some music out there. I've seen a lot of videos that talk about music is like a lottery ticket. You never know which one's going to be the one that blows you up. I have to take the time to make that content and put it out. So that is another win that I'm going to celebrate, is sticking to a lot of these content ideas and making them happen. The turning point that I've really realized is my funnel needs to be better. I've been counting a lot on inbound and referral work, and I think I'm nailing in my client avatar and who I want to work with, and now I have to do the work of finding names, finding numbers, getting more intentional about my contacts, and doing the outreach. So that's the big change that I am making going forward. I'm also going to level up some of my skills. I'm starting a creative content boot camp next week. I think that's going to be really helpful for not only growing my social media, but helping my clients and learning a lot more about that side of things, which is going to expand my offerings of things that I really would like to do. I'm excited. Tomorrow night is the CU Denver alumni event. My buddy Reed is getting honored, so I'm excited to go there and support and go to some events and do some networking, especially now that I'm a lot more intentioned and focused on who I'm trying to meet and the conversations that I'm trying to have. So I'll be honest, I'm still working on that, making it part. Like, I have my numbers, I've hit a couple times, I haven't lately, and I think that's just been the frustrating thing. But I've given myself this runway through severance, and I checked most of the boxes. So I said, all right, we'll extend that runway through the end of unemployment. And I really think that a lot can happen in 5 months, especially if you take the time to look at all of the baby steps that you've been taking and how they are turning into giant leaps over time. So hopefully I'll see you next week and we can continue making these a weekly freelance check-in.